The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, Ralph Mazou, says the agency understands the unique and difficult conditions being faced by forcibly displaced populations and host communities across Africa. He said many of the millions who find themselves miles from their homes do so because of the impact of climate change on the continent. For instance, a catastrophic drought, the worst in 4 decades, continues to impact the lives of many communities in Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia.
Right now, on the African continent, we have more than 35 million persons who are displaced, internally displaced, and refugees. And in a way or another, you can attribute quite a bit of the movement that is taking place to the effects of climate change.
These refugees often face a series of challenges if finding basic necessities and a means to survive weren't difficult enough. Many also have to deal with conflict or security issues. The agency has called for action to ensure that the most vulnerable who bear the highest cost are not left behind in their struggle.
So what we need to do in these circumstances, in this context, is to identify that cause and address it. Address it through making sure that in some parts of the African continent which are fragile when it comes to access to resources, that there are investments that are made there to make sure that people have access to water.
The UNHCR Assistant High Commissioner for Operations says responses across the region must factor in the impact of extreme weather events. At least $500 million has so far been identified to integrate climate action within UNHCR's programming across 24 African countries for next year. The UNHCR says it's determined to meet the challenges, and it will try to collaborate with key players to forge a future where the impact of climate-related events on displacement is met with resilience, protection, and solutions. Daniel Arap Moi, CGTN, Nairobi, Kenya.